Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Friday, the 26th of August, 2022. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about, so let's jump into it. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 rose 0.8% today to close at 7,104 points. Overall for the week, though, the index is pretty flat. Today, the best performer was Bega Cheese, which gained almost 12% on its earnings report. Qantas was another big mover. It added another 6.6% today on top of a good day yesterday when it reported its annual results. A good day today for the banks with the Big Four and Macquarie all climbing. At the other end of the market, though, the worst performer on the bourse was biotech company PolyNovo. It dropped almost 19% on the back of its earnings announcement. Revenue was up more than 40%, but the company, which specializes in wound and burn treatments, still reported a loss, falling short of analyst predictions. Story number 2 is along a similar theme to story number 1. Plenty of profit announcements today. I mentioned a few there, but there are some other big ones that are definitely worth a mention. Wesfarmers exceeded predictions with a net profit of $2.35 billion, proving that we are all still shopping at Kmart and at Bunnings. CEO Rob Scott expects those brands in particular to be well positioned this year as household budgets come under pressure. Wesfarmers' share price closed up 0.7% today. Lynas Rare Earths has reported a record profit of $540 million, sending its share price up 1.2%. There are 2 main factors really kind of driving this profit result. We're shifting towards electrification, and Lynas mines the rare earths that are needed for batteries and the like, so there is huge demand there. At the same time, prices are rising. How about this stat? The AFR reports that Lynas recorded an average price of $60 per kilogram for its rare earths oxides in the last financial year. A year earlier, it was under $30. Not bad at all. And global hospital operator Ramsay Health Care reported a 25% drop in profit for the last financial year and slashed its dividend. It wasn't the only piece of news about Ramsay. Ahead of the results announcement, investment group KKR pulled its $88 per share all-cash offer for the company. That offer would have valued Ramsay at $28 billion, including debt. Instead, KKR wants to discuss an alternate deal. Ramsay shares went into a trading halt, and when trading resumed this afternoon, the share price fell more than 3.3%. Not a great day. Story number 3, there are a couple of big CEO moves today. Paul Broad announced that he was quitting as chief executive of Snowy Hydro, the government-owned energy business. It's a very interesting time for Mr. Broad to step down. The Snowy 2.0 hydro storage project was the former coalition government's flagship energy program, which was really designed to help with the transition to low-carbon power. But it has had plenty of cost increases, plenty of delays, which are perhaps unsurprising considering the supply chain problems as a result of the pandemic and then, of course, rising inflation. There are reports, though, of a disagreement between Paul Broad and Energy Minister Chris Bowen about the government's plan to convert a gas power plant to run on hydrogen. But at this stage, Mr. Broad and Mr. Bowen aren't commenting on that. And in the gaming sector, Crown Sydney CEO Simon McGrath has resigned after just over 6 months in the job. He was brought in to help rehabilitate the company in Sydney after damning findings by New South Wales inquiry into Crown's operations. Earlier this month, he helped the Barangaroo Casino secure a provisional license to operate. So had a bit of success there by the sounds of it. Story number 4. Today, we learnt more about the inquiry into former Prime Minister Scott Morrison's secret appointment to 5 ministries in 2020 and 2021. This story has been making headlines for nearly a fortnight now. It feels like we have discussed it a lot. While the Solicitor General said that there was nothing illegal, the decision by Scott Morrison to take on the health, treasury, finance, resources and home affairs portfolios undermined the principles of responsible government. Today, current Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced that former High Court Justice Virginia Bell will lead an inquiry into all of this and that it's actually going to happen really quickly. Ms. Bell is going to report her findings by November 25, which will then allow time for any recommended changes to legislation to be made before Parliament rises for the year. It does stop short of a royal commission, but it aims to get to the how, the why, and the who knew what of the whole situation. So we will be talking about it for some time to come. And finally, story number 5, all eyes are on Jackson Hole in Wyoming tonight, where US Fed Chair Jerome Powell is due to speak. Now, I always struggle with international time conversion, so he is due to take the stage at an annual summit at 10 a.m. US Eastern Time. So I think I've got this right in saying that's midnight for us. There has already been a few other officials speaking, and it's generally been a pretty hawkish tone. The S&P 500 closed this morning up 1.4%. The Dow Jones rose 1%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq closed 1.7% higher. So let's see what happens tonight. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 26th of August, 2022. Sean Aylmer and I will be back tomorrow morning for the weekend edition of Fear and Greed, where we pick apart the biggest and the best stories of the week. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.